And that's the T. Hey, everybody. Welcome
Mm,
back to the stream. We're here with Emily Poulin. Hi, Emily. Good morning. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Oh, I'm doing great. That was my really bad Tony the Tiger impression. I
I like
apologize
it.
for everyone. Yeah. Hello, welcome back. I know Cheyenne, it was your first time hanging out. Really cool. Thanks for joining us, Cheyenne. Welcome to the stream. If you aren't familiar with Adobe Live, all it is we're going to hang out, we're going to design some stuff, we're going to learn some things together, and we're going to have a grand old time. Emily, if people are not familiar with you, welcome back. One, if you
Thank you.
yeah, if you want to introduce yourself, please take it away. I'll put you full screen. Are you screen sharing still? You are. All right, I'm gonna put you full screen and linger over in the corner. Go ahead and introduce yourself, and I'm gonna pull up your Instagram.
All right. Well, hello, everyone. Happy day two. I'm actually so excited to be back. If you're here yesterday, I was here yesterday. Very excited to be here. I'm a designer illustrator in Southern California. I am currently residing at home, but I'm so excited to hang out with all of you. It was the highlight of my day yesterday. So I hope it is your highlight today as well.
What a highlight! And yes, we are gonna learn something. So this is Emily's Instagram. You can go follow her. Um, if you're not familiar with her work, it looks like this. It's gorgeous. It's fun. We're gonna be doing a little bit of the style today, right, Emily, of your kind of illustration.
Yeah, I'm going to be working on Illustrator and I'm going to pass off assets to you and you're going to do some fancy InDesign magic and we're going to
Yes.
go from there.
Yes, we're doing a little bit of that, a little bit of this. Also, daily creative challenges. If you have not, or if you're watching right before this, I think our friend Julia was doing the daily creative challenge. And today, the challenge is to create a vectorized portrait of yourself or a fictitious character using shapes and the reflect tool. So, Emily, are you feeling up to the challenge to review some of these?
I would love to.
Cool. We're going to do it at the end of the stream. So if you have not submitted yet, go ahead and submit on Behance. I believe the hashtag is AI Challenge. Go ahead and work on those and submit them. At the end of the stream, we'll be reviewing those, taking a look at the Discord. And if you want to get into the Discord, Emily, will you help me again? This is my favorite part of the day. Let's send people to the Discord. Three, two, one. Boom! Here is the Discord. You can get into it. It's a great community to get connected, to talk to friends, get feedback, and hang out with some of the mentors. I know that Kathleen is in there, Julia is in there, I'm in there, and we will give you feedback and help you kind of level up your design capabilities and step up your career. If you are wanting to absolutely step up to the next level and you're a student who's about to graduate in this hard time or just need feedback on your portfolios, tomorrow at 12 noon Pacific Daylight Time, Nick Longo and I will be live for a segment that we're calling Office Hours. And you can use hashtag Adobe Office Hours to submit your portfolios on Twitter or tag them on Behance. And we'll be doing portfolio reviews for the next few weeks to show you how to have a great portfolio to put out into the world. So I'm very excited to start today. It's going to be fun. A question already from chat for our
Yes.
friend Emily. Emily, any tips on doing these awesome single line drawings? What app are you making them on?
Sorry, Mike, I saw your comment. My iPad set up right here to my right, and I was trying to type one handed, but I did see you. I use Photoshop and I tether my iPad, or I use the sidecar feature, and I use my brushes in Photoshop, and then I'll color there and bring it back into Illustrator, which we might do some of today, depending on how the stream works.
Yes, so today is going to be a vibe, as we call it. I'm going
A
to go ahead
vibe.
and show some of the stuff that we worked on yesterday. If
Oh
you're not
yeah, do a
familiar, we
recap.
did fun stuff yesterday.
Yeah.
So we're working on a project that we're calling Snail Mail. And we worked yesterday. And Emily, do you want to kind of talk about the idea behind this?
Yeah, so during this time of being socially distanced, we wanted to create graphics that you can send to your friends, print out, email, whatever you want to do, that were looking forward to what you're going to do when you're back together. So mine said, I want to take you out. And Andrew had the response one, kind of like the Valentines you would send when you were younger. Said, I can't wait to catch up. And so we released those on a drop, or not the Dropbox, sorry, on the Adobe Creative Cloud.
Yes.
And you could download them from there. And so they're up there if you didn't get them from yesterday. And then we'll be uploading the ones from today after the stream as well.
Yep. And I think that if Voodoo Val is modding still, she has the link for these that she can drop in chat. You can hop in, and they're live right now for you to download, and we'll be uploading them as we go. So you can download them, send them to your friends, put them in your Instagram stories, tag your friends, do whatever you want. We're trying to spread some positivity here and just have a grand old time. I forgot to start our music, so if y'all are ready, you guys want to get some vibes? Let's get some vibes. Oh
Let's
yeah,
get some vibes.
there's vibes going on. Emily can't hear the vibes, so she needs to. She's vibing by
Drink
relation.
my coffee in silence.
Yes. We are also drinking lots of coffee this morning. Oh man, I literally said this morning, but it's literally noon. I think that we've just lost all concept of time, right?
Really, I sit in front of windows and I still have no idea what time it is.
It's true. All right, let's hop in. I'm gonna put up our working screens and hope that this works. Yay, there we are. We're working. All right, Emily, what are you working in today? What programs are you working in today?
I'm working in Illustrator. I do want to jump into Photoshop to do some of the brushes, the textures there, but we'll see where that is going to take us.
Rad. And I will be working in Illustrator and InDesign, mostly in InDesign today, actually. And what we're going to do first is I have Emily is over here. She's going to set up some files, and we're going to be using Creative Cloud to sync. And so, Emily, I'm going to put your screen up. Actually, I'm going to put my screen up to kind of, let's put your screen up, whatever. We're going to have Emily create the sizes that we're going to use, and I'm going to set them up in an InDesign document because I'm going to show you how to data merge later on in the stream. We're going to make these graphics with the intent of putting people's names in them. And I want to make a whole bunch of graphics with a whole bunch of names. And so, we're going to put in some placeholders and show you how Creative Cloud can work collaboratively to update live links. So Emily, you are going to very first make some placeholder images for us, and I'm going to hop over in InDesign and start setting up.
I feel like placeholder images might be a little overselling it because I'm really just going to throw color in here so we can see it and write placeholder over it for you.
Yes, sorry, that's what placeholders look like.
Placeholder. Let's see.
And as she does that, I'm going to hop over in InDesign and show you guys how to do multiple sized artboards in InDesign, which I don't see a lot of people doing. But all we have to do is we have our document here that I made that's just one page, and it's I think this is 1920 by 1920. You're going to come over here on Edit Page Size in your Pages panel. You're going to hit Custom, and then you can type in the new dimension. So I want this to be 1080 by 1920 because I'm going to use this for Instagram stories. I'm going to hit OK, and now it's resized this page. Now, if I want to, I can hit New Page, and because the document is supposed to be at this size of 1920 by 1920, it will make another page that's 1920 by 1920. We also want a page that is 4x6, I believe. And so I'm going to come in here and just change my units and increments to inches. And I use Command K to do that and change the units. Oops. We're going to hit OK. And then I'm going to make another custom page. And this one's going to be 4x6. Right, okay. Now it's changed this to 4x6. And when I make another page, it's the same 1920 by 1920. So we've made these, all these different sizes. And Emily, have you saved out those pages for us?
Yes, I'm going to put them in. I'm only seeing the final files folder. Is that the correct one?
Yeah, why not?
Is that fine? Okay.
Yep.
That's what I was looking for.
What
is call these placeholders?
I never use InDesign. Okay, if you're not using InDesign, it is the wild frontier of Adobe products. It really is like the gold rush of like I don't see a lot of people using InDesign. It is so powerful. So like if you're doing anything more than once, and I'll show you, we're gonna export. Why not? I'll export 50 of these cards, and we'll do it in a matter of like 10 minutes. So it's going to blow your mind how you can use InDesign to kind of streamline your process. And a lot of people just use it for layout and editorial. I use this for like digital ads and stuff all the time. So we're going to show you data merge. It's one of the most powerful tools, I think, and it's going to be awesome. All right, are our placeholders done, Miss Emily?
Yes, and they are all up in the final files for you to use.
Hot town. So
let me know if you can.
Yep, over in Emily's screen, you can see that she has uploaded to our Creative Cloud folder. We're sharing that folder, and I'm just going to create little placeholder over this whole screen, and I'm going to Command D, and that is going to place. Oh, these are pictures of random people of a project that I was working on for something else. There you go.
Hey, no mind to these random people.
Yeah, don't mind these random people. And I'm going to come in to our folder here. And Emily has put in the placeholders. The first one that I want is the 1920 by 1080. I'm going to fit this to fill proportionally. So now this is in. Now we have the little card over here. I'm going to do the same thing. And I'm just popping in placeholders. We're going to work
Love it.
Collaboratively.
Collaboratively. Ooh, one more time.
Collaboratively.
Collaboratively.
That's one of those words that you clap to like count the syllables. Collaboratively.
Do you always clap? I've never heard that.
Yeah, I always clap. Did you make this at 1080 by 1080 or 1920 by 1920?
This one is at 1920 by 1080, but you did tell me to do it by
the square
by
one.
1920.
Okay,
oh,
that's
that
fine.
one's 1080 by 1080.
Okay, cool. I will resize this page, and again, this is super easy because I can literally come in here, hit custom page, and I want this to go back into pixels.
Here, let me change it so in the future it will get size for us. So you're doing 1920 by 1080 and then 1920 by 1920?
Yes. Do you want to keep it at that? Actually,
What
yeah, let's
time
do
I
it because
need?
we can show the live update right now. Yes. So Emily's going to update her file to be 1920 by 1920 instead of 1080 by 1080. And what's going to happen is when she saves this file now, you'll see in my links panel, it shows all the things that are linked in this InDesign document.
Thanks.
And so all the links are right here. And so because we're using Creative Cloud collaboratively, when Emily updates this, it's going to have a little exclamation mark and a warning here. And I'm going to double click on that and it will live update this for me.
Okay. I'm just going to extend this over. Here we go. Do you want me to just go ahead and replace the one in the
Yeah, so if you
Creative
save
Cloud
right
folder?
over it, it will treat it as
got
if
it.
it's a new file. That'll say, hey, something's different about this file. And it will
Something's
notify me in
wrong.
InDesign and be like, hey, do you want to like fix this? And I'll be like, yeah.
So about that. Okay.
All right, and
went ahead
Emily, you
and-
can start working on what we're doing today. Actually, can you explain where you're gonna go, and then we can start working.
Yes. So in our theme of yesterday, where I'm doing one card, then Andrew's doing the response. He might do the response card. We'll see how far InDesign takes him. I'm gonna do let's make lunch, and then to do the data merge portion, we're gonna use a blank. So it'll be like, hey blank, if your name is blank, this one's for you. Hey blank, can't wait, or let's make lunch. And so I'm gonna do ingredients like all over the page here, so it looks like we're ready to make lunch, but we don't know what we're gonna make yet. So if you have something you're hungry for or whatever, feel free to put it in the chat. I was thinking of making a sandwich, but again, jump in the chat, let us know what you want.
Yeah, chat. We very much want to collaborate with you. So let us know if you have requests or anything that you want, because that's what we're here for, really, is to
What we're here for.
Yeah, teach you to have fun. Can you, Emily, can you
No worries.
save that as just placeholders? It looks like it added the extra artboard after it and it didn't override the file.
So frustrating. Okay, yeah.
I do that
So
sometimes
just
too.
export it as a
So
new
yeah, export
asset?
as, and then take off the 3 that's at the end. So just save it like that, yeah, and it will add the 3.
So I'll go ahead and delete that
Yep.
one. Use artboard, range 3, excellent. Let's
Totally.
see if it did it. Replace, I would love to.
Yep. So if you can see on my screen now, Emily has replaced that, and we'll wait just a second, and it will actually notify me in InDesign that this has changed once it finishes syncing.
Amazing.
So
It looks like
Kinda
it's
cool.
green on my end.
there we go. Okay, so let's go to, it just went green on her end, and on my screen now, we can see that we have this little exclamation mark. All I'm going to do is double click on this exclamation mark. And now it has updated this. I can go ahead and come in here, go to fitting, fill proportionally, and now it is at the right size, 300, exactly what I want. So it's all updated and perfect. I'm going to leave this running in the background, and I'm going to hop over into Excel, actually. And Emily, you can take it away with your illustration stuff.
I was looking at chat and someone is requesting poutine for day 2. So
We're going to
maybe
do
we should post like a
fries and gravy.
good link afterward to poutine.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? Yeah, I'll do a fry in here. Why not? Okay. Hey, wow, we're still in Futura or Nutraface here. Just to name another typeface for you, I know that was quite the highlight yesterday.
That's true.
I don't even know if any of those were right. Like, I think they were, but I don't really know.
Close enough. I just
That.
accidentally typed snail mail, but like male, like the gender. Spelling's not my strong suit.
Snail female and snail male.
In chat,
Hey.
if you want to get some names going of maybe your friends, let me know some names. I'm just going to be plugging them in here. So I'm actually going to do them first name and last name so that we can show how to data merge and data merge multiple fields. And I'm going to start grabbing names from chat.
Do you want me to leave an actual blank for you? It doesn't need to be an actual blank, right?
It doesn't need to be an actual blank. And I'm actually going to put the type in InDesign. So you can put it there as like the placeholder.
Oh, that's right. For a placeholder.
And then we'll delete it after.
Okay.
And yeah, I can put it in InDesign.
Oh, I probably choose a typeface in that you have, huh?
We can sync through Adobe Creative Cloud.
Look at that plug.
Wow. It really is the best.
Let's make.
I was nervous about like
actually
having my files in the cloud. I'm like, I like to have them in a certain place. And then when I started using it,
right? Yeah.
I was like, dude, it's so good because I work in between PC and Mac. I have a PC at home and then I use a MacBook on the go. And it syncs all my files without having to have a hard drive that I like converts everything back and forth.
That's so nice. Okay.
And chat, if you're commenting right now, literally all that's happening is I'm grabbing your names. If you're in chat, your name's going to be on one of these.
Welcome to our creative stream. You're now friends with us forever.
BFFs,
Peter Parker, that's fun.
Friends forever.
Oh, Mike is asking about if you can do data merging just with Illustrator.
I don't believe that Illustrator has data merging.
That's yesterday with actions. I think only Photoshop. Oh, wait, no. Illustrator does too. Okay, and then I'm going to do snail mail here again because that was fun. Snail mail.
Brad. All right, chat. I'm scrolling through. And I'll show you my screen real quick, but my screen's going to be super uninteresting for a little while. I'm literally just going through and making a spreadsheet, and I need to make sure that when you're laying this out, you want the top column to be whatever your field name is. So this is first name, and then this other one will be last name, and I'm literally just starting to plug in the names that you're putting in chat. So I'm going to do this for a little while because Emily's going to be doing some amazing illustration work over there, and then we'll circle back and I'll show you how to flow all these names into our images.
Amazing. Okay. I'm going to start with my type here. I'm really not sure where this is going to go, but we'll start like this. I really wanted to draw in Photoshop. Should we give it a shot and see what happens?
Yeah, let's do it. And you're going to be doing some of your contour drawings?
Contour drawing? I think so. I'm going to try doing some textures. I just love all the textures that are like in the brushes in here that I really just feel like you can't get in Illustrator for whatever reason.
Yeah, you can get a lot of detail in Photoshop that you can't get in Illustrator.
Yeah, I couldn't tell you the math behind it or why. I'm just going to... Oh, go ahead.
Oh, it's because it is vector versus pixels.
Vector.
So pixels, you can have a lot more gradation and little detail. If you're working in vector, it's very precise and mathematically based. And so you lose some of the gradient and some of the subtleties.
I'm going to name this layer colors just so I can come back to it. I just copy and pasted the pixels from Illustrator so I can reference them as I work.
Cool.
I'm just gonna make a new layer because non-destructive, and I'm gonna start with bread because I feel like that's a good place to start. Sorry for all my gluten friends if you're gluten intolerant. That's a little too big. So I'm gonna be drawing with my mouse right now, which I normally draw with my Apple Pencil and iPad, but we were having some issues trying to link both of them. So these are gonna be extra contoury today. Okay. It's kind of fun. I like when the shapes are a little more freeform and a little more rough anyhow, so.
I do too. It makes it kind of interesting and like wonky, but in a fun way.
just like got the right amount of wonk, like Willy Wonka, but like, you
Oh,
know.
that's true. Yes, it's Willy Wonka, but just Willy Wonk. Okay, that's a name that's also going on our list. I'm going to make one of
Willy
these
Wonk.
graphics to Willy Wonk. How do
Okay,
you
real
tag your
question.
Behance
Which is your
portfolio with hashtag Adobe Office Hours? If you go into a project, you can add tags. I believe it's on the second step of the process. You can add tags in there. So just tag it or just tweet it to us and use hashtag Adobe Office Hours.
Do you like the original Willy Wonka better, or do you like the Johnny Depp version better?
I cannot compare them. The original Willy Wonka is so nostalgic for me. I'd always
That's
wanted to
fair.
see it in theaters, and I just didn't because it came out too early. And they were showing it in a theater, and I went, and I started crying literally 30 seconds in because it like brought back all this nostalgia of like being a kid and watching it, and it's just so magical and mind blowing. And the new one, I'm a
Aww.
huge Tim Burton fan, and so the new one was like anything
You
Tim Burton
are.
does, I'm in. I actually
Take
spent
my
like
money. You can have it.
yeah, I spent hours the other night watching behind the scenes of Willy Wonka because I just thought it was of Tim Burton's one because it's so interesting how he
Oh,
approaches stuff.
really?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm gonna leave this one big, and this will just be slice one. Sorry, my bread is just being thrown everywhere right now. All right, turn that off, and make another layer.
It's a gluten explosion.
Ew. I feel like when I draw, I literally just draw the same thing like 10 times until it looks like what I wanted to. I was
Yep.
showing you before we jumped on. I was working on drawing some noses this morning, and it just is like 20 files or 20 layers deep in the file of noses.
It's true.
So
It's just like, and it's basically what people do with tracing paper, but you're doing it digitally, right?
right.
That it's
You know what? That's
not
a good
like,
way
oh,
of
I'm
putting
doing it
it.
wrong each time. It's like, oh, I'm refining it each time, and it's an iterative process. And like even someone that we look at your Instagram, right? And it's like, wow, these illustrations are so fun. Like I'll bet that there's 90 that are like, these suck.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
eventually get there.
I know I'll be showing like my boyfriend or something what I'm working on. He's like, oh, I love this one. I was like, oh my gosh, that one's like my least favorite. Like, can we
Right.
move on to the ones I just did?
Yeah, please don't look at
But
that one. All right, I'll put.
it's really when you're like involved in the process. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm just putting our screens back up and kind of showing. So I made a last name and a first name column here. And these are the names that I'm going to roll with. And what I'm going to do is just go ahead and file, download, and you want this as a CSV, comma separated values. And so I'm doing this as a CSV. And then we'll plug that in, and I'll start laying out in InDesign kind of where we want things to go. And I can adjust that when Emily gets her designs going, and we can start plugging them in.
I'm just out here making a tomato. I'm pulling some lighter values here. Tomatoes have like little sections in them, right? Yeah.
What did we decide to do?
Let's make lunch.
Oh, yeah, and
I'm
we're
just
doing,
doing
like, a
some
little sandwich?
ingredients.
Cool.
Yeah.
Cool. Maybe I'll
Did you
hop
want
on.
to start building?
I was gonna say I'm gonna start building some like sandwich stuff too. Yeah, I'm gonna
More
start
ketchup?
doing. That's true. It's like literally just been ketchup. I'm gonna hop over into Illustrator today to kind of show some different ways of doing stuff as well. And Emily, there is no InDesign Daily Creative Challenge. I don't think so, Rachel. But maybe in the future.
Oh, really?
If you want it, let Adobe know. Maybe they can incorporate it.
That could be something cool.
Yeah, there might be actually. I don't know.
Oh, wow. Look at I just turned this layer on. We're already building a sandwich. Look at us go.
Slamwich. Come on in,
I'm
Slam.
thinking of doing this less. Thinking of doing more of like a monochrome feel and less like accurate colors.
Okay.
Like, I might do it. Which would mean this bread could be like pink or something.
Yeah, I mean, go for it.
Let's see. I'm gonna bring this tomato over into my artboard and just see what he looks like over there. Tomato.
And I'm just going through Adobe Stock. It's a great resource to just pull reference and stuff. I want some good bread. So I'm going to pull some reference for bread and then do some
Would you like to get this bread?
tracing and stuff. And I forgot to mute my Slack notifications again, so you may hear a little pop, pop, pop. I'll fix that in just a second.
Pop, pop. Anyone watch Community? It's
Oh
one of my
yeah.
favorite shows.
Cool.
I forget the guy's name, but he's always running for like class president or something.
Oh yes, and he had like a fun name. What was his name?
Is it just Pop Pop? He's always like Pop Pop, and people are like, yeah.
Maybe they just call him Pop Pop. That might actually be the case.
Does anyone know what we're talking about? Anyone watch it? And then there's Starburns, of course, which we all Starburns.
Yes.
Not really.
All right, so I'm going to use this bread as a reference, and I don't really want to live trace it just because I feel like you can, but I want a little bit. Yeah, I want a little bit of more control over it. So we did that yesterday. So I'm gonna, I don't know, try it a different way and see what happens.
Do it. I decided I think I'm gonna go with that idea I had of doing things just like a monochrome color. So I'm gonna make a little garlic guy right now, or not monochrome. I'm just gonna work with a limited color palette, so everything's not like actual colors. I think it's just more fun, more intrigue when you limit your colors.
Intrigue. It's a mystery.
Intrigue. What were we saying yesterday? We had some good jingles happening.
Oh, that's true. We did do like a lot of singing. And what other websites do you refer for images? Unsplash, I use a lot, but Adobe Stock is just really helpful, especially if I'm going to be using stuff. If you're going to use the image, it's better to just put it and do Adobe Stock. I'm like not great at illustration, but I definitely have like a style that I like to illustrate in, and so you'll see I'm literally just doing weird hard lines and corners. Sometimes I'll try to use curves and pull things out and trace it exactly, but I like to do this, just grab the corners and then round out all these corners, and it gives me like a cool little blobby shape, and then I'll just texture it to kind of hide my imperfections.
So fun.
Emily, somebody is asking, what brush are you using?
I am using, I think I got these actually from Creative Market at some point. These are Kyle's Ultimate Pastel Palooza is the one I'm currently using, to be followed by Kyle Bonus Chunky Charcoal and his Drawing Box Happy HB pen.
Are these Kyle charcoal. Webster? I wonder if they are.
You know, if it is Kyle, raise your hand and please let me know.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure. I got them a while ago.
If anyone knows, they sound like they could be Kyle Webster's.
They're excellent. I use these for a majority of my contour brushing. My contour brushing. I just like the gradients they have and a bunch of different stuff. These look like little garlic, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I've completely abandoned my, like, I'm just going to do little, like, corners and then round them. It started to look bad. So I'm actually tracing it now.
I actually made a list of ingredients because I started to forget, like, what the things were. Cheese. Let's make cheese. I'm going to do some blue cheese, but it won't be blue cheese. It'll just actually be blue. You know what I'm saying?
Wait. You made a list of ingredients for, like, building our sandwich?
Yeah, because I felt like as soon as we went, like, I've never eaten a thing in my life. What do people put on sandwiches?
What is this? What's a sandwich?
Does that ever happen to you? People ask you something and they're like, I've never done that. They're like, do you brush your hair? And you're like, probably not. Like,
oh, absolutely.
I don't know if it's just me.
Yes. Someone will ask like very
what do you use to
simple
brush
things.
Your hair?
I'm like, what?
I don't know. Yeah.
Yes, they are Kyle Webster's pre-Adobe years. So if you want these brushes, I believe that his brushes are included in Creative Cloud now. So they should be in Photoshop,
oh, really?
and you can just download them through. Yes, all of his brushes are in Photoshop now.
You know, it's quite possible that's how I have them because I don't actually remember downloading them. I just assumed I was like, oh, I must have just had these forever then.
Fog, I feel like an absolute beginner. That's fine. Go over to our daily creative challenges and check those out because they are super helpful for you to not be a beginner anymore and learn and kind of level up your game. All right, this is looking bready.
Fog, I'm going to speak to that too. Literally on my first day, I went to school for design very briefly, but when I did the very first day of class, I said, okay, everyone open Illustrator. And I genuinely raised my hand and I said, hi, none of these programs start with the letter I. Like, I don't know which one I'm supposed to be opening. So that is how beginner I started with Illustrator and everything here.
So my illustration style that's happening over on the side, I like to work just in values. And so I'll work in black and white a lot of times, and then kind of just color over. And I'm just incorporating little textures here. And you'll see this is a bad illustration right now, but I'm going to hide it with a lot of texture and kind of faking it.
He said, it's really bad, but we're going to make it better.
Oh, no, I know that illustration's not my forte, but I definitely try to fake it.
I think, but that's totally how illustration goes. Like, you don't necessarily be like the most skilled. I feel like if we all were incredibly talented illustrators, it'd be kind of boring. Like, it's fun that everyone does it differently.
Oh, yeah.
Variety is but the spice of a sandwich, or the spice of life. Cheese doesn't have triangles.
Yeah, I like sandwich spice.
Spice of the sandwich?
I think that's the Lost Spice Girl. Sandwich spice.
Sporty spice, and I'm sandwich spice.
I love that.
I love that. Yeah, this cheese kind of looks like a dice, but I kind of like it, so we'll do it. Cheese dice will be the name of this one. Love it. Let's see, what else is a good one? What did we say? Poutine? I'll do some French fries. They're going to be red French fries. It might look like bell peppers or something, but we'll see.
And again,
did anyone send out our oh, go ahead, Andrew.
Oh, no, that's a good question. Yeah, go ahead, ask it.
I'll ask it. Did anyone send out the graphics that we made yesterday, and anyone get a good response? If not, it's okay. We were just wondering.
Yeah, just curious if like you actually love us or not.
Respond however appropriate.
Yeah.
How's your sandwich coming over there? What are you texturing?
It's not looking great, but I'm still playing with it. I am not super great at this illustration, but it literally is the process of I know it's going to be terrible until it's good. And so I have to like keep forcing myself to keep going and just trying weird things until it starts to look the way that I want it to.
I'm gonna start dropping some of these in here just so we get a little bit of a visual. I feel like with design too, there's the phase, like I always know when I'm working on a project, there's always the phase where I hate the project, I wish I never would have taken it, and I'm miserable and a miserable person to be around. And then you have to keep working, and then you're finally like, this is the best thing ever, I love it, I'm so proud of it.
Yep.
But it takes so long to get there. I wish you could skip that part. All right, so here's some garlic. Cute. I'm liking this. I'm gonna copy one of these guys and put it over here. So I'm using clipping masks. This is like my favorite way to edit images. So I'm gonna hold Option Shift and drag and drop this to make more garlic just appear like that. That's how grocery shopping works for everyone. And then I use the rectangle tool and make sure that the layer is above the garlic or whatever you ask. So whatever, it works like cutting out with scissors. So whatever is on top, whatever's on bottom. So you just highlight both of those, right click and click make clipping mask. And now my garlic is on his lonesome, but I can move him around now.
A lonesome garlic.
Just a lonesome garlic, alone in the moonlight. Just out here.
I'm going to do an effect that I love using in Illustrator right now. And that's just doing pixelate and then going to pointillize. And it's going to make all these little like wobbly wobbles. I don't know how to describe that. Little wobbly wobbles. It'll make it look super weird. And I like that because it's going to give me the texture that I want when I trace it.
Textures. Oop. Snail mail. Perry says he loves us in the chat over here.
Oh, thanks, Perry.
Does that mean you sent our graphics out, or?
I also think that I maybe just hit the wrong buttons and might have crashed Illustrator, and not because of anything that Adobe has done wrong, because I literally just tried to make it do something impossible. Cool. We're gonna cut over to Emily real quick, and I'm gonna probably restart Illustrator and just cancel what I told it to do. I basically told it to apply a super complicated effect onto 2 images that were already super complicated. And oh my goodness, it did it. Y'all, it worked. It just took a second. It did. It just took a hot second.
Oh, wow. A hot second. Quick break. Well, let me put my poutine fries. So the way to place files in here, by the way, we're going to click File and click Place, and then find my fries ? And place those in here. And then you can drag and scale, which is beautiful. These are my fries for now. You know what? Let's add some highlight to them because they look a little boring.
You're doing very well.
Thank you.
I love this journey for you.
You're telling me that?
Oh yeah, yes, I'm telling you that. With our screens side by side, I'm feeling hurt because yours is so good.
Stop! I'm drawing fries ?
All right, I'm gonna try some new things. I'm gonna try to do a color halftone. That works for me sometimes too.
I like that.
To get the effect that I want. And we did a lot of auto tracing yesterday, or image tracing. I have a special setting that I've saved that's just my halftone setting, and I use that to get my kind of halftone signature look or whatever that makes it look like old and printed. Yep. So my bread just got really weird because I have something weird on it, but that's good context for me.
We're going to do a quick little relinking so I'm going to export this. So now I did fries with a little highlight on them, and I'm pretty sure I like it. So I'm going to go ahead and replace fries ? With this new version. And we're going to click yes, replace, which hopefully in Illustrator now, Illustrator is going to say, do you want to replace that? Look at that. And I'm going to say, yeah, Illustrator. And now my fries have a little highlight on them. And I didn't have to relink it.
Yep. Again, using Creative Cloud, it's really great because it will notice that there is a difference in that file and fix it for you.
Just so great. I feel like for a while only InDesign did that, which was one of my favorite reasons to use InDesign. But now Illustrator does it, and that makes me just so much happier.
Is there a way to show just elements which are on an artboard, like the W in InDesign? I don't think so.
Oh,
if anyone knows another way, let me know, but I don't think so. And my bread, again, this is not looking like bread very well, but again, I make things look old and like textured to hide the lack of good illustration style. And so you'll see, I did it so wrong. You'll see as I pull this over there.
It looks great. I just looked over at your screen. I was really focused on my fry here. But I like that you have a good gradient going on.
Yeah, it's getting to somewhere that I think is cool. And then I'm gonna kind of mess around with the dimension to try to make it into a sandwich. And once I have this style down of how I want to make it all look, it'll be very easy to build out the rest, hopefully.
I love it. Spices. Okay, I'm just gonna make some various spices happening over here.
Magnitude was the name of the guy, and he's the guy that would say pop pop.
Oh, you're so right.
Magnitude.
Pop pop.
Pop pop.
Thanks for looking that up for us, Eric.
All right, I just made 1 million anchor points, which
love it.
Illustrator has increased the capacity and the speed to do this kind of stuff. And so it's actually really great because it can handle this a lot better.
Best.
I know, and I do this all the time to where it's like super intense.
Will it crash our live stream if you keep anchor points?
I hope not. I think it'll be fine. I might crush Illustrator, but it's my fault if it does, honestly. All right, so I want to create some perspective. I need to count real quick. Sure, let's do 7.
You need to count?
Yeah, so basically what I'm doing is trying to create a perspective on this bread because I want it to kind of stack vertically. Hi, Valder. Valder tunes in for a lot of our streams. And so I've made this little rectangle that has the edges going in to create like this perspective as if it's leaning back. And all I do is I select both of these and then I go to Object, Envelope, Distort, and Make with Top Object. And it's basically going to distort whatever is the other object onto that rectangle. and it will give me a really cool perspective. So now my bread looks like it's kind of leaning back at that angle. Kind of cool.
That's amazing.
It is very fun.
Like, you know, how did you learn all these really cool tricks, Andrew, from tuning into a lot of Adobe Lives?
It was a bit of Adobe Live and then a lot of just going through the menus and hitting things until I figured out like, oh, this does that.
Okay, I don't know if you remember this, but when I interned for you for like all of 2 months, I think I interned for you. We would do like Creative Fridays, and you would make me design something using tools I've never done before. You'd be like, okay, have you ever used we would just like look at the panel on the left and you'd be like, what's that tool do? All right, the pucker tool, perfect. You're gonna make a design in 30 minutes using just that.
Yes.
And I was like, it's gonna look so bad. And you're like, I know, but just do it.
Yep.
You remember that?
Yeah, you gotta try new
That's
things.
great.
Because if you don't, like, who knows? Like, you have to be able to try new stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like it made me a better designer. Like, especially as a student, I feel like it really accelerated what I knew was available to me. I feel like I don't find time to even do that now, which I wish I did.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was always so fun and scary. Very scary.
Cool. So I just expanded. I put it at that perspective, and I expanded, and now it's its own vector object at that actual size.
Amazing.
Yep, I'm gonna
Actually, I'll do some like a leaf, like arugula.
Playing with some color in here. Like a bread color. Bread's like kind of like brownish.
I feel like that was not symmetrical enough. Is bread brown? Yes. Bread is brown and water is wet. You know, maybe my first one's better. I'm gonna make a bigger brush. Let's see. Go back to my pastel palooza here.
Pastelpalooza. I love that.
I love that it's named that. I want it to be a party all the time. All right.
So I'm using the erase tool in Illustrator, which I don't see a lot of people use. And I tend to keep my illustrations, I know, especially when I'm doing this kind of texture stuff, just super loose. And I want a little bit of crust here, so I'm just erasing these to create some crust. 45 minutes until the design feedback deadline.
Amazing. Your toast looks like it's in like Star Wars. It looks like it's like going into the future.
It's true.
I love it. Okay. Oh. I feel like my computer's a little overheating here himself. What's the music sound like right now?
It's like that weird like pre-dubstep thing where the person's going like like one of those like weird, it's like somebody that is like stubbed their toe, but then they've like auto-tuned it.
Man, do you remember when auto-tune first came out? That was my favorite. And every YouTuber was just auto-tuning whatever they were talking about.
Yes.
And then making like music videos and songs that went along with it. Man, I miss that. That was a good
like
time.
The Gregory Brothers? They did the climbing in your windows. Yeah.
Oh, yep, exactly. Auto-tune the news used to be one of my favorite segments.
Yes, auto-tune the news was the best.
Auto-tune the news, or whatever it sounded like. All right, this looks a little more like a succulent, I think, than like an edible leaf. So I'm gonna do one more.
Yes.
Unless you put succulents in your sandwiches, you might.
I don't like microgreens would kind of be like that. All right, so look at my screen now, everyone. I'm trying to prove to you that I am not crazy.
Wow.
The bread actually looks like bread now. I've done the colors, I've done the shading, and it looks like bread, which is exactly what I wanted. That was my intention.
That is the bread we were looking for.
This is not a bug, it is a feature. Cool. Got my bread. Drag this down. There we go. Got my 2 slices.
Val said, nice.
Oh, yes.
That looks like bread, Andrew.
Yes. I'm actually really happy that it kind of, like, we're kind of doing it. It is toasty. All right,
that is so cool. It kind of looks fluffy.
Yeah.
Like a couch made out of bread.
And so it was literally just using halftones and inner glows to kind of just think about what would the shapes and ideas kind of be, and then using a lot of auto tracing to hide the imperfections of texture and perspective.
It's like what method actors do. You really just got to think about bread, and if you were bread, where would your highlights be?
Yes. Do you spell
Yes.
tomato like a toe, like with an E at the end?
I always spell potato and tomato wrong. Did I
Okay.
write it funny on my file name? Probably.
Oh, did you save any file?
I did. Oh,
Huh.
not in there yet,
Oh,
but
okay.
when I first wrote it.
Looks lovely and fresh. Yes. Now, see, so now that I did the first one, I'm again just grabbing these references and then adapting them into my style. It's going to be so much easier to do that. And actually, I'm not even going to trace this one. I'm going to use some image trace on this one to kind of just get the effect, because I think it will be easy with this as opposed to the bread.
I always try and figure out how I want my highlights to look. It's a real back for me, I feel like. So please excuse me while I try and figure out what this leaf highlight should look like. Also, again, drawing with my mouse and not my pen tool, or my pencil, so I feel here. But it's like the good old before I had an Apple Pencil.
I know, right? You're like, what was life like before?
This
That's
is a
funny.
vintage
I was
thread,
looking.
though.
I was not looking at the screen. I didn't focus on the bread thing, and yeah, it's crazy how it can go from being bad to good in like a matter of a minute.
A transformation.
A modern woman. Again, somehow I have started referencing like all designs as hers.
She's beautiful. I love her.
I use like gender neutral pronouns sometimes when I'm referencing, and I'm like, ooh, they're looking good. So I guess, yeah. We got some non-binary design sometimes.
All right. Sorry, that was a real life reaction to realizing I did not do some non-destructive layers, so I cannot erase. I will just draw over it. And I'm gonna bring in this pink again. Hello.
So
wonderful.
I talked about this before. I like working with values and putting things into black and white. So I just put a shape over this and then dropped it into color and made it like a dark black so that the colors all stripped away, because it's easier to do the halftones and stuff for me.
Love it. Leaf 2. We'll do this one as leaf 1. Yeah, I'm drawing like botanicals over here. I don't know what I'm doing. This will be a nature-inspired sandwich. I'm gonna do another leaf and make it red.
Oh, did I just do a blur? I don't want that. I want an inner glow.
Welcome to the segment where Emily and Andrew just question, what did I just do?
Yes. Why is this glow not going? Did I do something weird? Oh, it's because it's... Okay, I got it.
Yeah, you did.
So I just want to add an inner glow to get the edge to be a little bit more wonky, just because I like that to have a little definition on the illustration after the fact. And so I do it with a white shape on top and then just multiply it. And that way I get a little bit more of that edge.
So edgy.
I literally just
Remember when people called you a fringe designer for a really long time?
Yes,
and we were both like,
people
what does
did
that
call me a fringe
mean?
designer for a long time. I think that I'm
really wish
still in that zone.
I wish that you just wore a lot of fringe. Like, I wish that it was like that obvious what it meant. You know, I understand like, it's cool, it's a style, but like,
yeah,
Andrew just wears a lot of fringe.
What a fringe designer.
What
Oh
does that
gosh,
even
what's his
mean?
name? There's a guy on Project Runway, and his whole thing.
It's fringe.
Yes, his name was not Seth Aaron. There was somebody, and his whole thing was fringe, and he made a dress that was entirely fringe. It was just like layers of fringe.
Okay. Can you buy the clothes that they make on Project Runway?
No, they're really super expensive. They do have a new show on Amazon that's called Making the Cut. And they have whatever is the winning look. They have it available on Amazon right after the show.
That's cool.
It's the greatest
and very
idea
interesting.
Ever. Yeah.
How does that work?
Cool. So I got a little bit too much detail on this tomato. I don't want all these little pixels, so I can come into my settings and change just the noise. I'm going to take it up to 5, and it's going to get rid of all those little guys.
Take it up to level 5.
Take it up to 5.
Wrong level, Grunk.
Wrong lever.
You make a very good Yzma.
Thank you.
All right, this leaf looks a little more edible. I'm happy. I'm gonna name this one Edible Leaf. Now we know. Happy Leaf Erikson Day, everyone.
Oh, Leif Erikson Day.
I don't know when that is. Sorry. I always loved that episode of
Sunday.
SpongeBob when it came on.
Okay, cool.
All right, here's a leaf.
About the level.
Looking good.
I'm gonna expand this. And I didn't save the perspective that I was working at, which I probably should have.
Tomatoes will be going every direction in all sets of time.
Whoops. So you can see that halftone is a vector and created kind of that cool. I got the edge by adding that outer glow, and then I got the cool kind of gradations to make it look like it's old and printed, because that's Amazon.
How I say Mazone, my jam.
I didn't save it at all. Oh boy. All right, we're gonna fake the perspective. I'm just gonna kind of figure out how to do it.
This leaf does not look edible. He does not make the cut. Sorry, Mr. Leaf. I'm gonna make like
Friday, October 9th is Leif Erikson Day.
Friday, October 9th. Well, guys, are we making plans? Oh, it's Tammy. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, Tammy. I like that Tammy's like quiet in chat, and then it's like, what is Leif Erikson Day?
Like,
she's like, I'm here.
She says, let me tell you.
let me tell you about that. Do you know the perfect date, Emily? Do you know what the perfect date is? What's your idea of a perfect date?
Oh, I know the answer. It's like,
wait a minute.
Somewhat sunny outside and 75.
Is it today? Yes, I think it's April 14th. Guys, did we miss the perfect day because we were distracted by other things? I think it's April 14th because I know that it's right before my birthday, which is tomorrow.
Tammy, what day is the perfect day? Your birthday's tomorrow?
My birthday's tomorrow. I've decided I'm not having my birthday though. I'm gonna wait.
Did you decide that, or?
I did. I'm gonna like have a birthday in October, I think.
Would you like to have it on October 9th?
Oh yeah, maybe my birthday will be on Leif Erikson Day. That's kind of fun. All right, so our tomato is looking good.
Wait, Andrew, what was the perfect day you were referencing?
Oh, it's for Miss Congeniality.
Oh, I see.
Yep. It's date. So they literally ask. They're doing like the Q&A for like the Miss America or whatever, and they're like, describe your perfect date, and she's like, I think it's April 9th actually. She's like, April 9th because it's not too hot, it's not too cold, and all you need is a light jacket. Yeah.
Just to name the quote exactly. That's actually the part I remember was the weather. I don't remember the date.
April
Tammy says April 25th.
April 25th.
Our ketchup queen has returned.
You know what? We need a perfect day right now, and I'm very excited for it's the perfect day, and it's coming soon. What
okay, so should we make tomatoes are red?
There we go. Yep, not too hot, not too cold, and all you need is a light jacket.
This is supposed to be mustard, but again, I made a weird splotch, so we're gonna make another one. We should make campaign posters for the most perfect day is coming.
Oh, I love that.
I love that. You guys stay tuned. We'll follow us on social, and we will be promoting.
Oh yeah, let me do
perfect day.
A shameless plug of our social media in just a second. I'm gonna change.
Oh, here, yeah, I'll type them in up here too. Tell me why the type tool in Photoshop is always like the most scary thing to be working with. At Hoch.co, right?
Oh yeah, here, I'll switch to your screen so you can do shameless plug.
Shameless plug.
Why is this not becoming?
It's in yellow. How helpful that is. Let me change
the
that
color
for
I
you
want
guys.
it to be. Let's make it. I want it like a dark red.
I want to do a blue.
There we go.
Beautiful.
Yeah. All right, our sandwich is starting to come together. I'm gonna do one more thing because I don't think I'm gonna have time to keep going. How can a student buy an Adobe subscription? I believe that if you are a student at a school right now, they have extended for you to get a subscription from home. I think if you have one at school or your school has an account, you also get it from home right now. I think, Val, if you can also maybe drop a link. Actually, you know what? I have the link handy, so let me go ahead and pull it up real quick.
We're just going to keep working with this mustard, so don't worry, everyone.
Yeah, keep going. And again, if you're a student and you want feedback on your portfolio, go ahead and tweet it or post it using
Office hours.
Hashtag Adobe Office Hours, and we will be reviewing it tomorrow at 12. Tomorrow at 12, and yeah, come get some feedback. All right, do we want to do cheese or do we want to do lettuce?
Ooh, I'm always a fan of cheese.
Okay, maybe it's like I don't know, one of those sandwiches that has like just the tomato and cheese.
I think like a grilled cheese, basically.
Yep. I'm not even gonna like make a cheese. I'm literally just gonna make a circle and then do. Let's go back to the double screen. So it's really cool and easy. I do this all the time to make a circle and then just go to Effect and Roughen. So it's Effect, Distort, Roughen, and then change it to Smooth and kind of play with these settings, and it will give you nice little blobs. So like this is already a perfect cheese blob.
The most perfect blob of cheese.
Cheese blob is my new favorite thing.
Just want to answer a question really quick for Tammy. I am using the Kyle Ultimate Charcoal Penusa pastel situation, which we believe is available in Adobe Photoshop now. So go check that out. They're actually one of my favorite texture brushes. I use them basically for everything I'm doing lately. So a real win.
So now that I've established the steps that I'm doing, it's becoming really easy and fast to do. I know that I am making the shape. I am adding an inner glow. I am rasterizing it. Then I'm going to pixelate, doing color halftone, hitting OK, and then tracing it with my halftone preset that I have.
I'm going to highlight a little fun thing here to do with layers, just in case you're like, how do I move my layers around? You can move them manually here in the drop-down menu under the properties part, which is wonderful. Or wow, look at all my layers that are happening. So many. I prefer just to click highlight. Wow, let me highlight everything. Click highlight and arrange, bring to front, and that's gonna adjust your layers for you. So now my French fries are in the gravy because poutine will finally make its way into our design.
That has been the number one requested thing so far from this stream.
Gotta give the people what they want.
You gotta give the people what they want. All right, so this cheese.
Like appetizing? I think so.
I'm gonna make like a light gray and then make the background like a lighter gray.
Love it.
I want it to be a little bit darker gray. Have some contrast there.
Tammy says, "Wow, you're welcome." That's how I feel every time I use them. Thanks, Adobe. Wow. Is that good? Okay.
Yeah. Is that good? Am I sponsored? Yes.
I like well, that's what I feel like when he's like, "Do you want your Ovaltine?" or whatever they did.
Yes. All right, this cheese is looking like too. There we go. That's more cheesy. That's like a cheesy zone that I want.
Make it more cheesy there.
I was just trying to get the color. Like the color felt super weird and it like wasn't cheesy enough for me.
I am making some more. These are like little like salt and pepper flakes or like chili flakes or whatever you want to put on your sandwich. My Illustrator Photoshop is struggling right now. There we go. All right. Love this. Okay, cute. I'm gonna turn these off again.
Oops.
I'll call this one Sporty Spice in honor of our Spice Girls. Back to sandwich spice. Here she is.
All right, we got some cheese.
Cute. I'm loving this. So this is a trick that I do, which is kind of strange, but I'll show you guys. So we'll use file place because that's the right way to do this. So file place, and I'm going to place my Sporty Spice, scale it up right here, and then I'm going to clipping mask both of these out. But so I don't have to replace it each time, I'm going to click Command C and then Command B as in boy or behind. And then I can do a clipping mask directly on top, make clipping mask, and then there's still a whole nother copy right here. And I just like to do this so I don't mess up placement or anything like that. And now I have both of them sectioned. There you go. Okay, this one's cute.
Yep. All right, and I'm gonna do lettuce on mine. And I'm literally just gonna use the cheese and rotate it I'm gonna make a copy of it and rotate it and
Oh, my whole Illustrator screen. Sorry.
call it done.
Okay, yeah, I know. I do want to highlight or get these over to you so you can do the magic in InDesign, because that's what the coolest part is.
Yep.
So let's move towards that end goal.
Cool. Oh yeah, we got about a half hour.
How much time do you want? Give me a...
I don't know. We'll start working toward being in that zone.
Okay. Just gonna move this garlic around. How's everyone doing on this fine Thursday?
Yeah, chat. How are you holding up? How are we doing?
Is this too much garlic, chat? Tell me, garlic. So I'm gonna say no, but...
This is too much garlic.
Should I pull back on my amount of garlic usage? I'm gonna do some type on a path fun here just to give a little more intrigue to the design and just, type on a path. Andrew, you've taught me this actually. When you do type on a path, you're very particular that you do center alignment. So
Yes.
type on a path options. Tell me why. I don't know why. Someone asked me the other day and I was like, I don't know. It's what I was told to do.
Because the ascenders and descenders end up touching each other if you do it on the top or the baseline. If you do it in the center, they'll stay so like perfectly kern, so they don't get like, it's easier to kern, so they don't get like weird and wonky.
We love a good kern.
Yep.
Speaking of kerning, I'm doing a very bad kern.
All right, I felt like the lettuce needed some like little like lettuce veins. You know how lettuce kind of has like
veins, yeah.
the little like vein thing. So I'm just making this like
he's
weird
living,
shape.
He's breathing.
And I'm going to do my same process. So it looks like a bad shape. It looks dumb, but I'm gonna do the same thing where I just run it and use it as like a textural element.
All right, so I'm deciding after looking at this that hey is too short and this looks kind of strange. So we're not gonna do type on a path. We're just gonna do hey, straight out, straight up, hey.
Emily, where did you get those food illustrations? Someone asked in chat.
Well, wouldn't you want to know?
There we go.
I did them all in Photoshop.
Hey, we did those today. You can
just
go back.
using a mouse.
Using a mouse. You can go back and watch how Emily created those.
I'll give a quick little flip through here of slice 1, slice 2, layer. Look at all these just ingredients. It's like I Instacarted these right to my Photoshop.
That's my favorite thing you've ever said. Went ahead and Instacarted this
Welcome
design.
to Photoshop. We're gonna Instacart.
Oh, I'm gonna have so much Chipotle today. They're doing like double points, and I'm literally
what?
all I'm gonna do is eat Chipotle today and tomorrow.
Sounds
actually,
so good.
I had one of my favorite things I've ever done. It was one of my birthdays, like in the past. I did a thing where I decided to put a candle on everything that I ate that day.
That's fun.
Yeah.
Can you put a candle in your design? I think I'd really appreciate that.
Oh, yeah, maybe. I mean, like if it makes sense.
Since your birthday's tomorrow, I'm gonna just retrace vaguely this leaf that I did since you saw me struggle with other leaves. So I'm just gonna use this as a template if you're wondering what I'm doing. Wow, it's so much harder to draw with a mouse.
I'm just sending this lettuce to the back.
Send the lettuce.
Yeah.
All right.
There we go. There we go. I think I got my sandwich. Yay.
Is it beautiful? Is it perfect?
It is. I think it's looking good.
A delicatessen?
And I'm going to make the cheese. Yeah, I guess we'll keep it mozzarella or whatever. So I made a sandwich. I don't know if I'm actually going to use this for anything, but we made a sandwich. Do we want to start moving into updating in InDesign?
Yeah, let's do it.
Cool.
I'm just going to add a little highlight on this leaf, and then I think I can pass this design off to you.
Sweet. So for reference, again, I was working in making a spreadsheet. You can do this in Excel or whatever. And I just made a first name column and a last name column. I went to File, Download, and download it as a CSV. And we're going to do some data merge to make these cards that we've made in different sizes with different names in them and export them all seamlessly. Very easy.
Data merge my heart. Data merge is honestly one of the most mind-blowing things I've ever seen.
It really is, and it speeds up your process so fast. So right now, Emily is saving some stuff out, and then she is going to save. What are you doing? You are going to save over these files.
I was like, oh shoot.
And it will link those files. And if you want to, can you kill that type? Because I'll put the type in after the fact. And actually, I'm going to start dropping in. I know that we want our social tags on here, and we want to do the Adobe Live. What are you using for the snail mail font?
It is currently, everything's in new plaque.
Let's see.
I'm not sure if that's an Adobe font, actually, so I can go ahead and send that to you, or we can go ahead and select a new one if that would be better.
What was it?
New plaque, N-E-U-E plaque. Plaque is in the dentist. Just kidding.
P-L-A-C-K?
P-L-K. Plaque.
Tis not.
All right, shall we choose something else? Do
you want to use Tightling?
Yeah, let's do it. I don't think I activated it yesterday, so let me double check if I did or didn't.
Or we can use like Hebo.
So
yeah, Tightling would work.
Tightling? Okay. Well, I'll just go ahead and remove it for now. So that way we can just run through in InDesign and you can set it. So basically now just a frame, but that works fine. I'm gonna add this little cheese back in because he's kind of cute. But I'm gonna layer him under the garlic. Cute. I did that by using Command and the bracket tools to adjust my layers without having to actually do anything. We love shortcuts.
Magic.
Magic. That was like a little ASMR magic. Magic.
Cool. So I'm using my text boxes to just make these text boxes. I know that we want our social tags on here, so I'm going to drop them in the corners. And these will flow to all of the designs. So you could do this on master pages, but I'm just very simply putting it on each page.
Okay, so is there a certain way that you want me to name these? Do you want me to name them like 4x6 or whatever?
Are they the finals?
Yes, if
just
you approve
save them
they are
over.
my finals.
Yeah, let's save them over whatever the name was that they were. The naming doesn't really matter. Okay. I just want to show how Creative Cloud can like totally handle these.
Oh, it can blow your mind. I'm gonna manually resize these really quick because I'm realizing that might be an issue. I'm gonna drag this over here, and
are you leaving the snail mail on yours?
No, but I can. Let me do that.
Yeah.
Snail mail, and we said titling.
Yeah.
I did not download it. Let me pull that up in. What is it?
Fonts.adobe.
Typekit. Not now.
Oops. There we go. I'm going to let you log in, not on the screen.
All right.
I'm having a staring contest with Emily and I'm losing. She's so focused right now.
Sorry. Oh, very sad news. There's an update that Font Bureau will be retiring this font soon.
What? Where?
It says Font Bureau's font will be retiring.
Oh no, that actually makes me so sad because that's what I'm using for like all of my branding.
So sorry to deliver this news on live television to you.
That's fine.
All right, here's my type in titling Gothic. I'm now so aware of how wide open my eyes must look. I'm like, oh, okay. What we're doing yesterday, I was like licking my lips too much or something. I wasn't made to be a star. Okay, snail mail. Let's do it. Oh, let's do it double because that's kind of cute.
Oh, I'm on my screen looking at. I meant to be on your screen. Sorry, I was looking at Tightling because I was like, oh, what's happening with
Oh, no
this? And
worries.
my screen was just full screen. I was trying to like hide it and it didn't work.
You said full send.
Full send.
All right. I'm just going to be moving around these little pieces so they can be resized. Let me go ahead and export this first one for you. So that way you can start with one. That'd be good.
It's expensive. Okay, we're not going to talk about that anymore. We're just going to keep working on stuff.
And you will be fine if anyone's concerned. We're positive you'll be okay.
That's
You
true.
recover.
I will be making my own brand font. So tune in on Monday and Tuesday nights as I create my own brand font now. And maybe it'll end up on Adobe Fonts. We'll see what happens.
Ooh, okay. All right, so I just went ahead and replaced that file for you. So now it should be this beautiful little border full of food.
Oh, border foods. All right. I am.
This became a new category of food. Border food.
Border foods. I'm still dropping in our tags and stuff real quick.
Oh, tag it. Oh. These garlics, I think, are my favorite thing. I'm just going to post these on my feed of ode to garlic.
Oh,
They're so
we love
cute.
garlic.
I really do.
Do you use a
There's this
microplane?
local microplane.
Yeah.
It's like a very small plane for when you travel. Just
Yeah, it's a tiny
very
little
small
plane.
flights.
No,
Microplane.
It's
Like a knife, right?
Yeah, it's like a tool that's like a knife that you like grind garlic on to get like a garlic paste. All right,
Is
so
it
I'm gonna go
similar
over.
to? Go ahead. Yours is more important.
Okay, I'm gonna go over, and Emily has created placeholders for us, or sorry, she has updated the placeholders, and so you can see here that I have this little exclamation mark, and all I have to do is double click on it, and it's gonna pull in that live file. So she did the live file, and now it's here. It's got the snail mail on it. My colors actually are not good, so I'm gonna go ahead and grab Emily's colors and use those. Gonna augment this design just a little bit. Let's do these in this blue. If you hear screaming in the background, there is a baby. She's going down for a nap, so there is no one being injured. It is literally just a child. There's just a large scream, and I'm
I
always
had not heard
concerned
any
if people like
screaming.
listening, and they're like, "What's happening?"
Being like, in the chat, they're like, "Oh my gosh, I think we're witnessing a murder."
Yeah. Oh, Mark Bowden, what's up, dude? Tuning in from
There's
Bermuda.
no murder, Mark. What? That's
Yeah.
cool.
Right? Are you exporting the other sizes too?
Yes, I am rearranging
Cool.
the artwork for these ones because they don't scale up as easily as you'd hope they do sometimes.
Cool. And then I'm starting to lay out the type here.
Fantastic. I'm just gonna make sure this is aligned, and then this should be good to go. Guys, just how excited are you that Poutine finally made it into the final artwork? The real question.
Also, Emily, we're going to use your favorite Minerva.
Minerva Modern?
Minerva Modern.
What?
I just said it so Minerva Modern. All
Murder.
right, what's the bottom part say? Hey blank what?
I think I deleted it. Let's make lunch. Okay, so I'm actually gonna update all of these for you because I chose a little bit lighter background color to make sure that we could see. Oh, I need to go to final files, placeholders, and then I'll just delete the name and we'll go ahead and replace all. So you'll have to update that link, but that should be easy, right?
Not a big deal.
Not a big deal at all.
15 minutes till the design feedback deadline, so we are going to start plugging away at this, and then we'll probably come back to it after design feedback. Yeah, we'll be fine. So here we go. So I just got a little pop-up here that there is something changed. So I just go to my links, double click this, and now Emily's background is updated. It's a little different, so I'm going to change the colors. So we're going to pull in this fun blue. Oh, I love it. And all we're going to do, I think, oh, you've updated all of them.
I did. They're all there
So
for you now.
you'll see I'm going to zoom out. I'm actually going to come over to my screen for a second just so we can walk through this. I'm going to update all these links, and you'll see because we're working collaboratively on Creative Cloud, it just updates these straight through for me, which is super nice and super helpful. I'm going to change these to just a black so they stick out a little bit.
Is that what the music sounds like right now?
There's a bunch of Australia friends. That is not the music. The music's super chill right now. I just felt like those were the sound effects that needed to happen. Do we make the type?
Someone just said... Oh, go ahead.
Do we make the type black now?
I had it black, yeah.
Okay, cool. I'm going to put it like a 90%. What did someone say?
There was a comment that said, Minerva sounds like a Disney villain name. And they're not wrong.
It does.
I feel like Maleficent maybe is what we're thinking of, right? She has an M name.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was sitting so close to the camera. Sorry if I was so giant, everybody.
Minervicent.
I'm just going to lean back a little bit while Andrew does all the hard work now.
Sorry. I didn't mean
no,
to
it's good. I'm watching what you're doing.
Cool. So I'm basically just
data
scaling
merging is the best.
This type, yeah, to everything. And then we go to Window, Utilities, Data Merge. And sharing my screen still. We made this, I'm so sad. We made this first name and last name, downloaded it as a file, download CSV. And now all we're going to do is we're going to come in here and I'm going to go to Data Merge, which is Window Utilities, Data Merge. Click on this little hamburger menu and hit Select Data Source. Here are the names for the snail mail, that CSV that I created. We're going to open that. And you'll see that it gives me options for first name and last name. When you click on these, it will place them into the document for you. So I'm going to place because I want the first name and then the last name. I'm going to put a space between those. And we're going to see how this works out. It might actually not scale right, but we can work on it. Same thing here. First name, space, last name. And first thing here, first name, space, last name. So we put those in. It's basically telling us, hey, in this spot, you're going to put whatever is in this column. In the next spot, you're going to put whatever is in the second column. So when I turn on preview, you'll see it's starting to put these names in. They're a little too big. I've made a mistake. And so they're a little too big. So we're actually just going to take all of this type down a bit. Actually, I'm going to turn off hyphenation because we don't want that. Where's my paragraph? There we go.
Tammy is fact-checking for us again. Minerva McGonagall from Harry Potter is also an option here.
Oh, I love that. All right, let's make and then lunch on 1. All right. And this one, the type can just come down a little bit. Cool. And I'm actually going to change it so that it doesn't do a line break there. So if their name fits on the first line, it will just put it up there.
Smart.
Which is great. So it's updating all these. They're all updated. So now you can see we very easily made all these different sizes. And oh yeah, there is a comma. Thank you.
Otherwise, we're just yelling, "Hey, Julia!"
hey!
Let's make lunch.
So it's updated with our with all of our names. It's updated with all of the images. And now what we're going to do is we're going to come here and do create merged document. And what this is going to do is it's going to export a different
magic.
Yeah, it's going to do magic. It's going to export a different image for each of the names that we've done. So I'm going to hit create merge document and hit all records, and I'm just going to hit OK. It's going to take a hot second to do this. It literally took a second. And now, as I scroll through, you can see that it has one of each of the sizes, and it's put in all of these people's names at every size. So some of them got a little bit wonky because the names are different in size, but you can go through and just fix those. But see, it's very easy to create a ton of custom images if you're using names, if you're using numbers, if you're using even pictures. So if you want to look up super advanced, you can data merge with pictures.
Yeah.
Super easy to do for catalogs. If you're laying out a catalog, put all your pictures in
Or
one place,
badges.
all the product names, all of the numbers, all the prices, and you can merge all of that into a document super quickly. So there we go. I made a promise to you. We made 53 graphics in a matter of 5 minutes.
Wow.
Yep.
Seconds. I use data merging a lot when I'm doing place setting for wedding designs, like wedding suite type things, or I use them for badges if we need like people's names and their photos placed in, and you don't want to lay out manually 200 badges and names. Those are some of the other applications, but you can data merge so many things. If you get smart with it, InDesign is one of the most incredible programs.
Yep.
Hey, Peter Parker, let's make lunch.
Oh yeah, where's Willy Wonk?
So funny, I just saw that.
Oh, Voodoo
Willy
Val.
Wonk.
Voodoo Val, look we're making some lunch. There he is, Willy Wonk. And then, so if we have an issue, right? Here. We've created all these documents and the client comes back, and Emily, I'll be the client, and I'll say, oh man, we added like some tags at the bottom and the snail mail feels like it's competing with those. Can we take that off the design? Right?
Sure.
And, right? You'd look at that and you'd be like, oh my gosh, I literally just built 53 graphics. How am I going to go back and have to edit every single one of them? Well, because we're working collaboratively in Creative Cloud, Emily can literally go back on her screen, which she's doing right now.
Doing it right now if you want to show it.
Yep. And what she's going to do
I deleted it off of all three.
Take off the snail mail of all three. And I'm going to literally open my links panel and just wait. Because these are linked images and we're working collaboratively through Creative Cloud, they're linked to that shared folder. And when she updates them, it's going to notify me in InDesign, hey, a change has been made. And oh, here we go. The first one is there. I think it's the tall size.
They should all be there.
Yeah, I'm going to wait till the square one syncs. They're syncing right now to the cloud, which is cool. You just saw Emily do that, and now they're syncing to the cloud, and I'm starting to get little pop-ups that they have changed. So I'm going to wait till this last one comes in so we can see it happen on the square. That one will take there we go. It's up. So I'm just going to double click on this. And boom, now it's updated. The snail mail is gone. I'm going to click through these and just update them real quick. And now on every single one of these, they've been updated to that new linked file that none of them have the snail mail anymore at the bottom. It's only on the top. So super.
Can I make one suggestion?
Yes.
Well, actually, one question. Did you set up the tags on master pages?
I did not.
Never mind. I have no suggestions then.
Okay, cool. So yeah, the tags, if whatever, they basically act as masters. So whatever in this original document you use and have on here, it will flow that into all of the pages.
It's fantastic.
Right?
Will we be dumping these graphics into the folder so people can grab their own custom graphics, Andrew?
Great question. Let me do a once over to make sure that none of these are overlapping. And sometimes sometimes with this, you do need to come in and do some manual line breaks and stuff just to make sure things aren't overlapping. If you have, I don't know, some weird wonky graphics, some wonk.
So much wonk.
So much wonk. So I'm just scrolling through real quick. It looks like these are all good to go. Oh, Peter Parker. I don't know why I'm fixing Peter Parker. It's obviously not a person. Unless you actually know someone that is named Peter Parker, which could be kind of cool. Oh, Howard Jones. All right. Oh, no. I messed it up. This is not what we need to be doing, but I'm doing it so we can export them. And I'm going to show you guys how to export these in just a second, and then we'll get into challenge revision or challenge feedback.
Challenge.
Sunday.
Yeah, you much better. That's what I was going for.
And yes, we did this in Excel. We did it in Google Sheets, but you can do it in Excel. You just have to make a column of the first name and the last name, or whatever the fields are that you want to create. You just put whatever it is in its own column. Cool. So we're all good. I'm just going to go to File. I'm going to go to Export, and I'm going to export these just as PNGs. I'm going to go into our folder that I think is our snail mail folder, and I am going to put in here. What do we want to call these today?
Recipe cards. Or lunch.
Cards. Oh yeah,
date.
lunch.
I don't know, whatever. Lunch?
Lunch. And then I'm going to hit save. I'm going to hit all. I want it at 72. Hit export, and it's going to export all 53 of these into that folder. It is going to sync. And actually, I'm going to go ahead and save this InDesign file. Can we do that? Do you want to drop these backgrounds into that folder?
Me?
Actually, I'll move them over to the final folder, and then I'll just save this InDesign in there if you want to put in your own name.
Oh, it's such a great idea.
Right? So, yes, if you, Voodoo Val, if you have that link, if you can drop it, you can go to that link, and it will be updated with all of these. What did I literally just say that I was going to do?
You were going to export them. I don't remember. Sorry, I was reading the comments.
All right, I'm going to take out these names, the name fields, and just leave it so that you can put your name in there. And that way you can make your own graphics.
I feel like learning data merge during this time is a great thing. Like, I feel like this is one of the best skills you can learn. So something to play around with for sure. It's
true. And you can send all this stuff to your friends, which makes it really helpful. Like, you can make a list of all of your friends
exactly.
and then literally just data merge it.
And then they all feel so special, which they are. So now they feel that way.
Lunch template. All right, so that is also saved into the folder. Let me go ahead and move over Emily's graphics so that they will link. And if you have an issue that it comes up and it's like, oh no, these are not linked, you can literally just click through and make sure that you have them linked to the right spot, and they will update for you. There we go. All of our graphics are now up in the folders for you. They should be syncing shortly if you want to do that. Yes, if you have 500 student cards, one click, 100%. You make a spreadsheet that is their first name and their last name and use data merge. Super, super easy. And you can send literally 500 cards to your students.
That would be so sweet.
Yep, it's updating. It's updated now in that folder. There are all the names. Some of you gave us actual names. Those are all in there, and then the placeholder templates are also at the bottom. All right, Emily.
I love that. I'm so glad you did that. Challenge time? Challenge time.
Sunday. All right, I'm going to hop over into Discord. If you have not posted your challenges, Emily, where do they go?
They go into the #challenge channel.
That's it.
Up here.
Yep, there we go. I tried to slowly queue. Yes, up here, bit.ly/AI Discord. You can go in there, make sure you hashtag AI challenge, or you can drop it into the challenge tab. Let me go ahead and open that. Let's see if this works. I don't know if I have Discord open. It worked. Good job. Okay, cool. Let me hop over here into actual Discord, and I will make sure that we can kind of see what we're looking at. Cool. So I'm going to go into the Illustrator challenge, and here are the challenges. I'm going to skip to the recent one. Emily, do you have the challenges up?
I do.
In our Discord. Cool. I'm going to see what happens if I move this window real quick. This might kill everything. It totally worked. Okay, I didn't think that was going to work, so I'm glad that it did. All right. Emily, where do we want to start? Today's challenge is to make a vectorized portrait of yourself or a fictitious character using shapes and the reflect tool. Where do we want to start out?
You can choose if you want to. I'm seeing the gardener. Yep, that's exactly where you are. Perfect. Should we talk about the gardener?
Let's talk about the gardener. And I think they're incorporating a couple things, right? We looked at the same thing yesterday.
Yeah.
So let's do like an overall critique. Let's look at the character and then do like an overall critique.
I'm loving the character. I'm loving the amount of detail that we're seeing. I feel like there's really good shadows that are happening on the objects themselves and underneath him. I think it's going great. Yeah, I love the pattern in the background. I feel like it's not distracting. I feel like it makes sense with the name for Live for Nature. I feel like there's a lot of consistency going on here. Expression's very fun as well.
Yep, and I think that the shapes that you're working with in the logo go well with the shapes that you're converting into his body. Especially his arms and his shoulders and the way you've done the hands are very round and soft, and I think that that's a great addition. Yeah. My biggest piece of feedback is if you have this pattern in the background, there are a couple areas that are not cut out, that are white. You want to make those opaque so you can see through, so it looks like he's kind of standing in the scene.
That's good. I would say too, make the shadows consistent. Like we'll see on the watering can that it's to the bottom left, but on the shovel it looks like the shadows on the bottom right. So making sure that if we are using fake shadows, they're following so they look real.
Yep, 100%. That's a good catch.
Thanks.
All right, let's scroll up and look at Mi Pueblo. This is day 2, so this is a little bit of the pattern. Do you want to critique this one in Spanish?
Qué bueno. A mí me gusta mucho. Sunday. I love the little cactus. Very cute.
Emily loves
I'm also
cacti.
loving. It's true. I grew up in Arizona, and the only tattoo I do have is a very small cactus who looks kind of like this guy. So near and dear to my heart. I think I can see the repeating pattern being used, and also I would say the rotate, reflect, copy, paste situation with the sun. Very cool. Good use of the tools. I actually like the typeface. I think it's a little loose, but I think that the shapes themselves feel very, it has the right type voice. It has, the right feeling to it. I don't know, Andrew, what do you think? I like the colors too. There's a lot of good happening here.
Yeah, I usually hate like scripts like that, and it works so well here. Like I'm usually so
it really does.
And it feels right. I think the only feedback that I would have is on your sun, it looks like you're using a pattern brush, or you're rotating, and they're not even. So I would make sure that those are like perfectly even. Some of the triangles are touching at the bottom, some aren't. So make sure those are even, or even if you're doing them in pairs, which it kind of looks like you're doing, make sure those pairs are just a cohesive, like the New Mexico flag. Make sure those pairs are cohesive because the triangles got a little wonky there. And I would also round those maybe a little bit to see what it looks like with kind of the vibe of everything else.
One other thing on this, again, I love it so much. I think you could do the pattern in the background as maybe just the sun or like just the triangles from the sun to pull out another aspect of the design. That could be really cool. And maybe move the Mexican bar and grill to the left, align it with Mi Pueblo. So that way there's like a little bit more of a consistency in that. Unless Mi Pueblo is standing by itself, then I could see you aligning it under the center. But
I could even see it aligned to the far right, so that it doesn't become too left heavy. I mean, either side I think would work. Having it in the middle is a little wonky. I want to join the challenge. Is it every day? Yes, it is. And you can go to
every day.
Every single day. You can go to, there we go, behance.net/challenge/illustrator, get your starter files and hang out with Julia. It is happening every day, I believe at 11:30. And she will be back on tomorrow because tomorrow's Friday and today is not Friday. She'll be back tomorrow
Thursday.
with another challenge at 11:30. So let's hop back over into Discord and take another look at another one. Let's look at this portrait that's right above Emily.
Yeah.
I think this was the challenge for today. So let's, give us some thoughts.
I am very bad at portraits, so anything like this is very impressive to me.
Same.
I really love the symmetry that's brought out by using the reflect tool. I thought when I originally read the challenge, I was like, that's really hard, but it makes sense. So you're only doing like half the work. I love that you did change the shadows on the face so that they're not the same, because I think you'd run into some real issues there. So, am I looking at the wrong one actually?
It's the one in the sunflowers.
Oh, I was looking at a different one.
Oh,
well, let's look at the one with sunflowers. Nope, totally okay. Andrew, do you want to start then since I'm
Yes, sorry, I'll do it. So, I like the portrait. You've done the hair really well. Hair's super hard to do. Super, super hard to do. And I think you did a great job.
In real life and in drawing.
Yes. That's why literally I'm just like, no, like I'm not going to do this. Like I'm just going to cut all my hair off. I'm done. So I really like this. The only thing that I'm seeing that's like a huge glaring issue is the stem of the flower is on top of the flower. Where in your reference photo, it's in the back. And so pushing that behind the flower will make it look a little bit more like a stem. It's kind of like breaking the illusion for me, having it there. I think the way you've done the colors is really nice. Your portrait's nice. The like shading of the sun is correct. Like if the sun is coming in this way, you're totally hitting the shadows correctly. Yeah. Any thoughts, Emily?
Yes, now that I've looked at it, I love it. I think you did a great job. Again, illustration's really difficult of people, I feel like, so I love the amount that you brought in. One thing I would think that would be helpful. So yeah, changing the way that the flower is facing to put the stem behind it is awesome. The thing that I'm seeing the most contrast with is with the very clean lines of the background. I'd almost want to see if you were able to hand draw or illustrate in the same style that you did the girl, to do the honeycombs in that line style to really bring the consistency together, because I feel like they're living in two separate worlds right now. So I feel like that would really bring them together, and allow the type to sit on top and feel unique in its own way. That's my input.
That's a really good observation. I would not have thought about that. But yeah, incorporating it could be really cool. And it would actually make the illustration look better, because it would be like, oh, it's a consistent style. Because having like the cleanliness with that clean, with the kind of like rough style is like, okay, is it just not precise? But then doing the honeycomb in the background in that style would be like, oh, this is like a style. And it would make that illustration look like, oh man, they like really stylized it.
Love that.
Cool. Let's go right above that to go ahead.
Yeah. That's the one right above it is the one that I was talking about. So.
Oh, cool. Let's talk about that one.
So you can see the shadows under her hair. They're different. So I really like that she used the reflector roll. I didn't like you uploaded this. Sorry. For the girl, that her hair is the same and everything is reflected perfectly, but that the shadows are unique to where the sun would be falling, I think really creates the depth, and that attention to detail helpful. I almost feel like the background color is a little bit competing between the light pink and the light yellow. It's a little hard for me to tell the texture and the color. So maybe drop the yellow deeper into the background, make it a lesser value or maybe even lighter, just to give more contrast there, because color wise, it's feeling a little similar to me. And I really want the face to stand out because it's amazing.
I agree. Yeah, it's good. And the way you've done your highlights is really great. You've captured the like kind of ring light look. And it's great because if you look, you can see the light hitting her forehead, under her eyes, and then on her chin. And so you're actually reflecting like what the light would be. I like the contour that you have is really great on the cheeks. This is like a beauty tutorial now. It's a great contour.
It's a little more.
A blinding highlight. Yeah, I think that it's great. I would almost not need the shadow on the top left. It looks like if you're doing symmetrical, you could do a little less shadow on the top left, especially because there is shadow on the right. Or change it instead of using the reflect tool, use the reflect tool, but then go back in and change that hair to come over a little bit more to justify that shadow. There's not a reason for that shadow to be there, in my opinion. And so it needs kind of a reason of like, why is there a shadow if there's a ring light at the front of her?
Good feedback. Solid feedback. So much contouring. We'll do a beauty tutorial after.
All right. So let's go to let's go to Resha. And I think this is from yesterday of doing the it's right above there. There we go. The patterns using photos.
Is it the black and white one?
Yes. And I can start with this. I love the type. I am crazy about that type. Even the
feels very David Carson.
It's very David Carson, which is like my zone. The like wonkiness of like the thicker M and N with the very clean E with the sharp edges versus the rounded edges. I love that pairing a lot. It looks like Alt-Haus grotesque, but it might not be. Who knows? And then the photos that you've used in the background are great adaptations of photos. Adaptations, that's the actual word. Yeah, Emily, any thoughts?
Adaptions.
Yeah,
so I think that's using the image trace tool, which was part of the challenge, which is really cool to create a pattern. So I think you really nailed that. I like that there's even depth to them, but the contrast that you created between the foreground and the background, wonderful. The typeface, I would not be able to name it, but I do like how it feels a little more grungy and a little more, it just feels not at peace. It's kind of nice.
Yep.
The one thing that's a little distracting to me is I think it's a coffee cup by his foot or her foot. It seems a little out of place. It might have made sense in the scene, but here on the poster, I might remove that portion just so you could see the person and the message a little clearer. And I think that would allow you to center the image as well. But other than that, 100%. I think great contrast. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Somebody just posted in chat, Michelle. I just posted on Discord, but I'm probably late to this review. No, you're not. Oh, yes. If I think this is you, I don't know if this is you, Michelle. Did you do the Juicy and Fruity? Because I saw you post a revision. I'm actually going to pull it up from yesterday. We gave you feedback, and yesterday, you tagged me, so I'm going to see if I can find it.
I'm looking for it too.
Yes. Newest. Let's see.
Actually, I yesterday, could you tell us the typeface? Someone DM'd me asking, and I gave it my best. But if you could confirm, that would be fantastic.
Oh, yes. Please let us know if whatever that typeface is. Darn, I can't see, but it is the update in this logo. So, Emily, any thoughts on this one and the updates? I think that they updated the quotes, which is, I think, was what we talked about.
Oh, I see it. You're totally right. Love that. Love that you were open to feedback too, because sometimes it can be really hard. I love the subtlety of the colors that you're using here for like the skin tones, that you can tell that you created depth with her arm, but it's not so much that it's off-putting or confusing to look at. So I love that. I almost would love to see that in her hair as well, like with the piece that's in the front versus the piece that's in the back. A little more contrast there would be awesome. The logo's fun by itself. It kind of reminds me of Dippin' Dots right now. I don't know if I'm hungry, but I love that part.
Oh, yeah,
it's really fun.
Dippin' Dotty.
Yeah, and it's really bright and enjoyable. So I love that. If anything, maybe the pattern in the back could be a little bit bigger. Just because I know what it is from yesterday, I kind of want to see more of it. But I love the composition that's working here. And maybe something for her arms to be resting on. It's implied, but it might be kind of nice to see another.
Yep. And the typeface is operetta.
Oh, I said Pastilli. It was close,
close,
but I'll have to follow up with the messages then.
Yes. So I agree, putting like a table, so having her elbows on the table, but have it covering the bottom of her torso, will have some really good, a really good dimension. And then I agree, separating like a little shadow, some kind of shading here would be nice. There's a little shadow on, there's some shading on like the back of the arm to the front of the arm. I would do that with the hair as well. Do the hair on the left with like a little darker yellow, and it would create that dimension well for you. And the same that you did on the ears, I would do that same kind of darker color on the ears to create that dimension. Someone just commented, Lisa just posted right now. We're just hopping into these as they come in. If you want to scroll down, Emily, there's another one. I know, this is really fun. Thanks for being participanty. Thanks for being
participatory.
Participatory. That's the. I'm
Everyone
literally
gets
making
their
up
participation
every word.
points today.
You all win.
I scrolled up because I remember seeing this in the feed yesterday. I've been on a big daisy kick lately. Like, I just want daisies on everything. So it stopped me as I was going through the channel just because I like the daisies. So I'm happy to see this update.
Is it, which one are you looking at? Sorry.
I'm looking at the most recent one that she posted.
Cool. The one with the soap?
Yes.
Cool.
Okay, I'll go ahead and give some, you can jump in after.
Cool.
I think this is in French, so if you speak French, also very cool. The palette, I love the color palette. I think it works really well. It's very earthy, very organic, and it spans a good range. It doesn't just sit in like the cooler greens, like it sits in the warmer reds too. So I really love the contrast you have there. I like the typeface you chose a lot. I think it's unique and it feels like voice. The thing that I would anticipate maybe being an issue is the ascender and descender for the F and the H. That might be hard when you try and put it in application somewhere, like it might just be too tall. So maybe shrinking that down a little bit, but I do like the F mark by itself being so tall. So that's my initial thought. Andrew, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I actually pulled it out of Discord so we could blow it up a little bit for everyone to see. I love the color scheme. This color scheme feels very like
fun,
spring, right? And fun and refreshing. It feels like a smoothie that I would want to drink. That's like a weird thing, but I'm like, right? It looks delicious. I agree with the ascenders and descenders. That would be really tough when putting it like in a website header or something. So maybe there's a version that is just straight across, but I'd love to see that on a shirt or an apron. Like that would look great on an apron. So I think maybe having a logo system would be great for this. I love the super tall F. I'm a huge fan of like stretchy letters. And so I love like the refined like bedonoid mixed with a stretchy type. I haven't seen that a lot. A bedonoid. because I just used that and threw it out. Bedonite is a font that has that thin horizontal, thick vertical. It's based on Bedoni, who was an Italian type designer in the 19 say 40s. It might have been earlier than that. He was a type designer, and he created that kind of thin and thick. He thought that his typefaces were so good that they were not for everyone to use. Like, he didn't want to make them accessible. He wanted them to like only be for high society.
He was like, for me only.
It's true.
Wow.
Yeah. Okay, so then the portrait challenge 3. Sorry, at the bottom. Any thoughts on the portrait?
I would love to see more color because obviously you were so good at using color. So I'm excited to see if you post an update later, tag at us so we can see it.
Yes.
But I think overall your reflections are working great. The eyebrows on fleek, looking great there.
Yep. Sisters, not
and
twins.
I like the stop. I like the hand with the soap. I think the gesture of it is very nice. I think it looks natural and it looks like something like very like a product I'd want to own, I think. So I really like that portion of it.
Yep.
Again, I think just a little more detail would be awesome, and I can't wait to see what you do with it.
I agree. I think with some refinement, this could be something that I'd see like on like a cool, fun website that is for like some soap. Like, it's a fun little header illustration kind of thing.
So true.
All right. The eyebrow rule. Yes. Voodoo Val knows the eyebrow rule. Sisters, not twins. All right. Let's keep scrolling up. We've got about... Actually, I think that that's good. Let's go ahead and recap what we did today. We got about 5 to 10 minutes left. And so I want to go back through and kind of show everyone what we did today, what we worked on, and give a recap. Emily, would you like to talk us through and show us maybe some of the stuff that you made? And then I'll go through and show some of the stuff that I made.
I would love to. Are you sharing my screen?
You are alive.
I'm alive. Okay. So we started off with size images for placeholders for Andrew, and those were just really straightforward images. From there, I decided that we were going to use some ingredients to make a lunch invitation for people. So I grabbed this, what's it called? Color palette, and I dropped it into Photoshop. And from there, I used these brushes. The Kyle, what's his last name?
Webster, Kyle T. Webster.
Kyle T. Webster. I used your brushes, and they're my favorite, highlighting Pastel Palooza one last time, forever in our hearts. And I just went through and drew different pieces of the ingredients in the sandwich that I wanted to include. Let me zoom out. This is the poutine one more time. Very loud for poutine. Here it is. The fries would be gorgeous. So I exported those back into a folder that we've been using. Here are my day 2 illustrations. They're all in here, and then I placed them back into Illustrator and laid out snail mail at the top here, and then handed them off into the Cloud folder for Andrew. And Andrew, what did you do with them?
Yeah, what I did with them is I took them into InDesign. Let me switch over to my screen. There we go. I took them over into InDesign, and I placed and just replaced those placeholders. At the very beginning, Emily had made files that were placeholders, so I started to lay out type, started to add the little descriptions here at the bottom, and then what I did is when she updated those, I just needed to go to my links panel and update those, and it updated all of these. Then we used data merge using a CSV and a list of names to come over here, and we made 53 of these graphics in a matter of minutes. So if you're looking at this and you're like, how did they make so many? It literally took us a few clicks, and you can go back and watch the replay of this, and we'll show you how to go all the way through that data merge. Now, talking about Kyle T. Webster, I actually just reminded we need to go through the schedule real quick. So Emily, if you can help me point again one more time. Point maybe to your left. Right there. Yes. Got it. Okay, cool. So this is the schedule, and I believe this schedule is happening again tomorrow. It may not be scheduled. It may not be happening tomorrow. I'm not super sure. But this is the schedule. I just wanted to point out Kyle T. Webster is doing Draw Along. If you missed that yesterday, go back and watch it. He's incredible, amazing, and super helpful and educational. Again, I'm not sure if any of this content is happening again tomorrow. This is the schedule, I believe, from yesterday, but it's the schedule that happened, so you can go back and watch all these replays. And if it's happening again tomorrow, then tune in tomorrow. Let's go. I think that's actually it. Let's go back to our main screen so we can just say hi. Hello.
we did have a question come through of
Yes.
how did he use the pages in InDesign? His picture covered it and I missed it.
Oh, yes. Oh, my picture covered it. I'm so sorry about that. Let me...
Move your picture.
I know. Let me make sure that I can do this. There we go. Okay, cool. So down in the corner, hold on. Okay, I'm about to like very jarringly float across the screen. So everyone just be ready.
A ghost, here he comes.
Oh, I'm like, it looks like I'm creeping up on you. So all that I did was I would select one of these pages. So let's say that I want this page to resize. I'd make sure that I'm in my pages panel over here. And down at the bottom, you click here, edit page size, go to custom. And right now, it is, I believe, 1920 by 1920. So I'm going to do 1080 by 1080. Hit OK. And it resized that page for me. So it made that page to the 1080 by 1080 that I wanted it to. So super easy to resize pages. And then you can flow different page sizes in all of these. So this is super easy to data merge because you can do all the different sizes. I use this the most for digital ads. So I do digital ads for a company every month. We have 15 ads at 15 different sizes with 5 versions of each. And I do that using data merge. And it's super quick, super helpful. I've set up the templates so that as the taglines come in, I replace the taglines, the pictures, and kind of flow everything through. And it saves me, that's something that could take, 2 or 3 days to do all of that. And I'll do it in a day. So it's very quick to help export your workflow. All right, I'm going to float back to the side now.
I was calling that the Adobe Moonwalk, and I'm so here for that.
Oh, the Adobe Moonwalk. I actually loved that. It is not double work to create a CSV file and then merge. If you already have a list in a CSV, just go ahead and download that. But you do need separate columns for each thing that you're going to flow in there. So first name, last name, number, whatever it is, you need all of those. All right, Emily. Let's maybe let's close it out and say thanks. Do you want to give your thank you? I'm going to pull up your Instagram so people can follow you. Go ahead.
I was just
talk about
here.
the
Pull
time.
up my screen.
Oh.
I just made us a little graphic.
Oh no, it's so cute. Oh no, it's.
I said let's be friends.
Oh.
It's a works here, but here's my social handle and Andrew's social handle. Did I spell it right, Andrew?
There is a DOT. No period. Full spelled out. Somebody else has the other one and I can't get it.
Hawk.co?
DOT. Hawk DOT CO. No period. Just the word DOT. There you go. That's it.
Yes. My bad.
So if you want to follow us on social or Instagram, Emily, take it away.
Yeah, no, I was going to say it's wonderful to hang out with you guys for the past 2 days, and I've really enjoyed it. And so if we could continue, you can find us on Instagram and Twitter. I feel like are the most active places for us. So I'm at Emily Poulin on both of those, and then Andrew, you are Hawk.co on both of those as well, right?
I'm Hawk.co on Instagram and just Andrew Hochradel on Twitter, because I don't care
I'll put that in here.
About curating my Twitter. And again, if you guys tomorrow want to join us, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Nick Longo and I will be doing a new segment called Adobe Office Hours. We will be reviewing your portfolios, giving you feedback and thoughts of how you can level up and be ready to graduate, especially if you're a student right now. It's a great time to be reaching out, getting feedback. So submit your portfolios on Twitter, on Instagram, wherever you want, using hashtag Adobe Office Hours. And we'll be looking at those, amalgamating them, and talking about them tomorrow, April 17th, as well as April 24th. And we may continue on past that if it is fun and you guys love it. So tune in, set your reminders, follow me on Instagram. I'll be posting about it like crazy, and submit your portfolios.
Like crazy. I feel like your feedback is so helpful with my portfolio. Like I feel like you say things that I haven't seen before that people are afraid to say. So if you want to get in his office hours, would highly, highly recommend.
Yes, and I try to take the approach of I'll let you hate me for 10 minutes while I destroy your portfolio, but in the long run, hopefully you'll hate me. Or sorry, you'll love me.
I hope you'll hate me forever. Come to my portfolio review.
Hopefully you'll hate me for the entirety of your life. No, you'll hate me for a little while and be hurt, and then you'll be like, man, hopefully that was really helpful. Cool. Yeah. So we're going to go ahead and wind down the stream. Emily, can you take us out with like some inspirational words?
Yes.
On the spot.
Text your friends invite them to make lunch with you, FaceTime your friends, enjoy your community, go outside.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
It's going to be great. And I'll be tweeting out the link to those assets, and so will Emily, and send them to your friends. Make sure to tag us too if you post.
Please.
All right, let's wave it out. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I didn't hit the button. Hold on. I didn't hit the right button. Let's do it one more time. All right. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.